Oh man, MDK2. This is Thomas Gebert from VGN, playing one of my favorite games of all time. I've beaten this game 4 times all the way through, and this is not a short game, so that's saying something. This is a really incredible game.
Never wanted to be a hero.
I don't want to speak over this, so...
And wanted to live out his years in quiet, dignified...
Oh wait, I think I skipped this. So...
Come.
Yeah, I was afraid that the time would be too long. I got... this is about a 13-minute video, and I was afraid if I didn't have... if I didn't skip that, I wouldn't have enough time. So I skipped all the cutscenes I could. I recommend watching the cutscenes because they're terrific and awesome. And this game's terrific and awesome. In fact, this is, I mean, as I said, this is one of my favorite games ever. I mean, you'll see it here. This is on this, originally debuted on the Dreamcast. This was originally on the Dreamcast, and you can see this is pretty cool looking. This beginning part, I mean, this is so stylish and awesome. It's hard to imagine. Now, this is a sequel to, if you didn't guess, MDK1, and the MDK does not stand for anything. It stands for MDK. But this is a sequel to MDK1, which is on the PlayStation and the PC. I played the PC version a lot, and PC version is great, and MDK1 is great, but this just blows it away in pretty much every way. The graphics are upgraded, but that makes sense. It's a newer game. The music's actually about on par, but the controls are so much better. You can aim up and down now. You control different characters. The levels have a lot more variety. The game's longer, and it has multiple endings. The story's a whole lot better, but you know, it's not saying much. There's not much of a story in MDK1, and this one, you know, it's kind of a stupid story, but it works because it's not supposed to be serious. It's kind of a parody almost. But parodies, video game parodies would not be good if they had crappy controls. And as many have said, to pull off humor in gameplay, you need to have at least good gameplay still. And this game does. Now, to any of you who haven't played MDK1 or MDK2, it's a standard third-person shooter for the most part. But you have sniper action, which was MDK1 was the first game to have sniper action. And you have a parachute by holding the jump button down. So I'm skipping the tutorial here because I already know how to control everything. So yeah, I'm just running along. Now the cool thing about MDK 1 and 2 is that there's no load screens between during the levels because all the loading's done in some hallways. In the hallways when you run, so the levels are actually, I think it's cool because it gives it a huge scale of levels and artificial load screens. I wish more games actually did that. Now I'm quite good at MDK2, beating it 4 times and all. So so I can pretty much run through this pretty quickly. Some things require that you use a sniper rifle. Some things are just easier to kill a sniper rifle. These guys I've found to be a little bit better than melee, or not melee, just use the chain gun on. You have unlimited ammo for this default chain gun and the default sniper, but you can pick up other better weapons along the way, which I will, a super chain gun during this recording. So yeah, I'm going here and I have to turn that fan on and go up to the fan. See, the cool thing is you have a parachute, so the air blows you up there. It's what's that was clever in MDK1. I love MDK. I mean, I'm just giddy here watching the footage. I mean, playing this was an absolute joy. It's always an absolute joy. I love the sense of humor this game has. I love the graphics have not aged all that well, but I think they work. They still do their job in making the levels feel huge, making this game feel grand. I mean, you know, obviously not going to be Crisis or anything, but I think they pulled off pretty well still, considering the age. This is on the Dreamcast. This is I'm playing the PC version here, which is actually the version I'd recommend because you can get it on Steam. I got it for I think $8 in Steam, and it's also on Good Old Games GOG. And you'll hear me recommend GOG all the time. I'm a huge fan of GOG. I don't own this game on GOG, but I'm assuming it's the same version as this or better. So keep that in mind. But this is the Steam version, and it's terrific. It's MDK2. It's everything you want in gameplay. If you like good action shooter games with a good sense of humor, then MDK2 is your game. These guys, dude, I've heard people have a tough time dodging these things. What you do is you strafe in a circle, and these things won't hit you. See? You gotta move a little bit forward, and these things won't hit you. So yeah, remember when I figured that out, I was so proud of myself. See, yeah, these guys are a pain. They take like forever to kill. Now, they want you to use the cloak here, but I never do. Because, they always seem to be able to see me with the cloak once I start shooting at them. So there's the point. I just learned how to dodge these things. So yeah, we're killing the big green guy here. And if you've watched any of these videos before, you know I like to get to the get past the first level of the game. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna get to the end of the first level, beat the first boss, and then promptly end it with no cutscene. Let's skip the cutscenes here for this. Yeah, you gotta go. I guess I'm probably spoiling any of the puzzles for you, but the puzzles for Kurt are pretty minimal. I really didn't need to grab that. Oh yeah, see here I had forgotten that you have to solve the puzzle here. Find the little orb. Yeah, it's always fun to play with the parachute. Basically, the way I feel about this game is it takes the action platformer formula and cranks it to 11. It's probably tough to explain how much I love this game. I played this game when it was new, back in '99, I believe. And it just is incredible. I mean, anyone who questions my undying love for shiny entertainment in general, who came up with MDK1, gets a bitch slap, and anyone who questions it further after the bitch slap gets a bitch kick. And I just because Earthworm Jim is my favorite game ever of all time. I'll probably get to that here eventually, but this one sometimes steals Earthworm Jim's place. I go back and forth between this one and Earthworm Jim being my favorite game ever, and it's clear to see. I guess it says a lot about me. Because this game, I mean, both Earthworm Jim and this game have a very surreal and yet almost serious nature to it. It's really very tough to explain without sounding pretentious here. Earthworm Jim and MDK have a semi-serious, semi-cartoony feel to them that combines nice, fast action gameplay with a cartoon style graphic. And I guess I've already said that, but it's one of those few times I think that it really hasn't been topped. You get a couple. I mean, Shiny has just always done good with that. Earthworm Jim, Messiah, Sacrifice, MDK1, and such. And this game actually is made by BioWare, who, if you guys know, make a ton of RPGs like Dragon Age Origins and Mass Effect. So it's a bit surprising that BioWare made one of the best action platformers, if not the best action platformers of all time. It's almost funny. I almost wish that BioWare would keep doing these instead of mediocre RPGs. I'm gonna catch shit for that one, aren't I? Oh well. Yeah, I mean, I wish BioWare would just keep making these wonderful action platformers with great music, great controls, great gameplay, great graphics. I mean, they seem to have strayed away from that and just make Mass Effect or Dragon Age, which aren't that bad, but they're kind of mediocre. And, you know, this game is just so original and so wonderful and so imaginative. And that's, I think, the advantage it has over a lot of other similar games. I mean, the gameplay is just so imaginative, so creative, and so full. So much heart clearly went into this. I mean, the people who made this clearly loved what they were doing, loved the art of making video games, and you can just see some of the little details, some of the little secrets you can find in here that just a person who didn't love the art of making video games wouldn't do. Here. As you can see, I'm pretty much memorized this level and memorized this game because I have a lot of free time and no girlfriend. So any of you ladies out there that you know, are attracted to guys good at MDK2, keep that in mind. All right. Let's see, you gotta snipe these things out. These are a pain because it's tough to actually see the cameras here. Maybe it's a brightness setting in my computer. I don't know. But as I said, I do recommend the PC version of this game because the PC games. I've always said this. PC games are the only games that actually get better with age. Especially like once the Windows game started, because sometimes, most of the time at least, because they let you update things that you that other games can't. For example, in this case, I'm running this by a 1440 by 900 resolution, which is far better than the monitor I had in 1999, and I can run the textures on high, which the Dreamcast version only could probably support about medium textures here. So, PC games get, at least to a certain extent, get better with age. At least the resolution increases. So, this game being fairly old, you know, 10 or so years, I recommend the PC version because it looks better than it did 10 or so years ago. And that's why I love PC games. And this boss, see, this is, if you didn't love the game already, just on a purely comedic level, I mean, look how big that boss looks in comparison to Kurt. I mean, maybe you'll lose something when you're not playing it, but it just, this grand sense of scale that this game gives you is just nothing short of brilliant, especially for the time, and even for now. I mean, it's just a terrific game. Now, I will go through this boss pretty much unscathed, because I know all you have to do is keep strafing and shooting at those orbs, but when I was first playing this boss on the Dreamcast a long time ago, I remember I got stuck here. I must have died 20 times before I figured out you had to shoot those orbs there. The game is very challenging, especially in the later levels. In fact, it's rated on many top 10 lists as one of the hardest games of all time, and it is a very difficult game. I'm not sure it's one of the hardest of all time. I mean, I beat it on hard mode on the Dreamcast, so and I suck at these kind of games, at third-person shooters and shooters in general. So I'm not sure. I think hardness is a bit overrated, but that's what she said. But it is a challenging game, no doubt about that. It's a very challenging, difficult game that will take you a while to beat. Very long, very fun. The only parts that kind of drag are the parts with Dr. Hawkins, but even then, they're so fun. Those are definitely the funniest. Which I might actually have to revisit this game with some of the later levels because I just love this game so goddamn much. This game is just so much fun and so. I mean, I keep repeating the same stuff, and I know. Oh, I forgot the control I had set for using an item. So I had to go to my settings and find out which one it was for using it, which is T in this case. The controller is completely configurable, like every good game. You can use a gamepad with this, but I feel shooters like this benefit from keyboard and mouse controls. So, but you can use a gamepad if you'd like. Yeah, this boss is a lot easier if you have a super chain gun. So, yep, and I beat the game, beat the level. I can't think of what I haven't said already about this game, so just purchase this game by any means necessary. Pirate it if you have to, because it is worth every penny. This has been Thomas Gebert. Adios.